Welcome to all. Namaste. So let us start with the prayers.
Om Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Viknopashantaye.
Next one.
Saraswati.
Yeah, please go on. Right.
Saraswati namastubhyam varade kamarupini vidyarambham karishyami siddhir bhavatu me sada.
Next one, please.
येनाक्षर समाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः.
Yes. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Before we proceed, I wanted to make sure if people have any questions. Are there any questions, doubts? Something that
Swamiji,
needs to be gone over?
Swamiji, there was one homework I didn't know what to do with
That should not have been there. I think we haven't studied that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that last part in that first one, yeah. So that was actually belonging to some other, it should have come under some other rule. Somehow I think perhaps I did not cut and paste it in the proper place. Okay, we'll take care of that. We'll study that.
Okay.
Today.
Thank
We'll
you so
study
much.
that this weekend. Okay. All right.
I didn't get, I had one question related to that exception too. I was not very clear on that Vanik plus Hasati.
Yeah.
We said Vanik Hasati, right? So that Ka became the third from that class, so Ga.
Yeah.
But for that rule, like after the plus, it should either be any vowel or soft consonant. So Ha is considered as soft consonant?
Ka. Ka is not a soft consonant.
No, like after plus, it should be the rule for the first one is after plus, it should be any vowel or SC, right?
Yeah, let's
Only
go over
then-
that rule, okay?
Yeah.
It's a good idea to go over that rule. All right, so let me just, without much ado, share this document and then let us look at it. All right, are you able to see this now? Yes?
Yes, Swamiji.
Okay, so let us just look at this. So, exception 2. See, the exception is where the exception lies also we'll talk about. So, let us read the rule here. You know, the rule is what? When Hakara follows any of the first 4 letters of the class of consonants. So on the left hand side we have first 4 letters, and then on the right hand side of the plus sign we have what? Hakara. Okay. Then the Ha is optionally changed to the 4th letter of the class of the consonant directly before it, preceding it. Okay. So let me just illustrate here. So let me try and draw this to just to make it clear. So supposing we have Ka, let's say Ka, Ga, or Gha. Okay. This is what is on the left hand side. plus hakara, ha. All right. And then we have two options here. It it remains the same, and then the ha is just added, or this ha, there is no change here on the left hand side. This ha gets changed into the fourth letter of the class of whatever consonants follows it. So it need not be ka, kha, ga, gha. It could also be cha, cha, ja, jha, whatever it is. Any of the consonants. So then it is converted into the fourth letter of the class of whatever is preceding it. So that means the ha will become gha, because that is the fourth letter. Okay. And that is optional. That is the part which is optional. This whole part is optional. The ha turning into gha in this example, or the ha remaining itself, that is the part which is optional here. And then whatever goes on before the plus sign, we cannot forget the rules which we have already studied. So that will be compulsory. So for example, if we have let's stop this so we can move on here. So if we have this example of vanik hasati, then what happens? We have to scroll up to the previous rule here, which we cannot forget. And then what is that? What is that? Here, let's see the next one. Kharicha, that is called, yeah. So any consonant which is followed by a hard consonant, no, not this one, first one, yeah, exactly. So jhalam jashonte, any consonant followed by a vowel or a soft consonant changes into the third letter of its class. This is not an optional rule, this is a compulsory rule. Okay, there is no option given here. So supposing if we say vanik here, vanik, and then vanik plus hasati. Hasati, right? That was the example. Was that the example?
Yes, Swami.
Yeah, okay. So vanik hasati. The merchant, we said, has just fooled somebody and overcharged them and is very mirthful, let us say. So vanik hasati. Now let us see if this sandhi, for this sandhi to take place, there is a reason. So will this sutra, will this rule be evoked? Any consonant except for nasal or semi-vowels, which means jhal letters. Okay. So so here is what we are talking about. This ka, is it any consonant? Please show some signs of life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And is it a nasal?
No.
No.
A semi-vowel?
No.
No.
So it fulfills all the conditions on the left hand side. Followed by any vowel or soft consonant. Is her a vowel?
Yes.
Yes? Who said yes? Please see me after class.
I don't think so.
Semi-vowel.
It's a semi.
Is her a vowel?
No.
No. Is it a soft consonant?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Is her a soft consonant?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
the one
yes.
who is not so sure, let me tell you that the hard consonants are just the first two letters in every class. Okay?
Thank you.
That's hard consonant. Ka, kha, cha, cha, ta, 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 tha. And then what else? Pa, pha, ta, tha. Those are hard consonants. The rest, anything, anywhere, whether it's a semi-vowel or whatever, those are all considered soft. So here the semi-vowels So here followed by any vowel or soft consonant. So
Okay.
does the her here fulfill those conditions?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So then what should happen here? What is the change?
G.
It changes to the third consonant.
Ka
of the
becomes
Yeah,
ga.
what changes?
Ka.
K becomes K.
becomes.
Very good. So
Vani.
it becomes vanig.
Morning.
Vanigaha.
Vani. Has. Vani.
Vanig.
Sati.
Is this clear now?
Yes.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah, so now we have vanig hasati. You see, this is because of this rule. The first rule that we studied about the softening or hardening of consonants. So this is the softening of consonants. Very important rule. So we have, by this rule, we have vanig hasati. That's not an option. This is not optional. This is anivarya. This should happen all the time. Then if we fast forward to this exception, then what do we have here? We already have vanig hasati. All right, we got this here, right? Let me just get this pen here back. So we have this here. So the option is either we can have this, which is correct, or we can or the her changes into the fourth letter of the class preceding it of the consonant. So what is the fourth letter of the of the the class?
Gha.
Yeah, gha, gha. Gha will be. So then, or we can have this particular form vanig ghasati. So we have to, the option is here. We can either stick with this which came with the first rule, or the exception is it changes, the her changes, not the her changes into gha. So the vanig will still be here. That doesn't change at all. So the change here is on the very interesting, on the right side of the plus sign. Okay, got it? Understood?
Yes, Swamiji. Yes.
Swamiji.
Clear?
Yes, Swamiji.
Okay, so
So one question there.
one more question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the her can be in the middle of the word and we can change it, right? It need not be the next.
No. Read the. Let's read this again.
Plus first.
Okay. Yeah. When her follows any of the first four letters of the class of consonants. So the her should be at the beginning of the right hand side of the plus sign. If there is no her, then this rule is not invoked at all, either optionally or any. Then this rule doesn't come into the picture. Got it?
Yes, that clarifies it. Thank you.
So if you look here, in all the examples, everything starts with her here. See that?
Yes.
Because if there is no her, if the word does not begin with her on the right hand side, this rule is not invoked at all. Okay? May I erase this?
Yes.
Okay. Ready to move to the next one?
Yes.
A very reluctant yes, but thank you anyway.
Yes, Swamiji.
Don't worry, you will get this. It's just it's harder than it sounds. Okay. So then we have a very interesting sounding sutra, choho kuhu. Don't worry about the sutra. What does it mean? Palatal consonants. What are palatal consonants?
Ja. Yeah.
Yeah. Palatal consonants occurring at the end of the word, meaning they are the last thing on the left hand side of the plus sign. Okay, so if you want, I can just draw it here. So we are clear about this. So we have, palatal consonants here, palatal consonant at the very end, before the plus sign, followed by what? Occurring at the end of the word, when followed by an affix beginning with any consonant except semi-vowels or nasals. In other words, jhal letters. Okay, yeah. So any consonant, but it should not be a semi-vowel and it should not be a nasal. And what happens? It is then, if that is the case, this is within a word. This is a sandhi within a word. We are talking about here. Most of the cases are like this. So then what happens? The palatal consonant is substituted by its corresponding guttural consonant. So if it is a cha, then it is substituted by ka. If it is a cha, then by kha. If it is a ja, then by ga. If it is a jha, then by gha. If it is a nya, then by nga. You get the idea. Okay, so the whole palatal consonant is substituted by the guttural consonant when what follows is any consonant other than semi vowels or nasals. If there are semi vowels or nasals, other what should I say, other rules come into play. But so otherwise this is the thing. Okay, so now let us look at this. So chavarga on the left hand side, chavarga means anything cha cha ja jha ya plus any consonant, not a semi vowel, not a nasal, is equal to what happens? The chavarga substituted by the corresponding kavarga. And we don't have to spend a lot of time on this because it's all internal sandhis. For example, the past passive participle ta is added to the root tyaj. So tyaj means what? Quickly.
Give up.
Let go.
Yeah, to give up, to let go, to renounce. Okay. Yeah, please don't let go of the meaning. All right, of tyaj. All right. So tyaj means to let go. So then I want to say let gone of, meaning I want to convert it into a past what is that, passive participle, for which is the affix, which is the suffix ta. So tyaj plus ta I want to do because I want to make this into a past passive participle. So then what will happen here? So does it fulfill the conditions? Is this a palatal consonant or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a palatal consonant, and then is it followed by any vowel?
Any consonant.
Any consonant? Yes.
Yes.
Consonant,
Yes.
Is it a semi vowel?
No.
No. Is it a nasal?
No.
No.
No. So both the sides, the condition is fulfilled. So what happens now? Tyaj. Tyaj plus ta. Then what changes?
Ka changes to ka.
Yeah.
Ja
The ja changes to ga. Why? Because it is respective. The ja is the third letter of the palatal class, and so it will turn into the third letter of the guttural class. So then tyag plus ta, and then what happens here? This is very interesting.
Yes.
Why does it become tyak? Why does it go back to ka?
When any followed by a hard consonant.
So that
See.
the second rule that we studied, let us quickly go look at it. Otherwise, we won't remember. So let us go look at it here. So then, any consonant followed by a hard consonant gets changed into the first letter of its class. This is the one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So dig plus palah, dikpalah, etc. So does that rule apply here? So
Yes.
tyak plus the, is it followed by a hard consonant?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So then what happens? It changes back into the first thing of its class. Okay. So then the final form will be tyakta.
Ah.
Tyakta means having given up. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing. Much plus the mukta. Bhaj plus the. What is bhaj plus the?
Bhakti.
Yeah, bhakti.
Bhakti.
First it will be bhag plus the. Then
Bhakti.
by this rule it will be bhakti. Pach plus tr. Let's derive this one. Pach plus tr.
Paktra.
Yeah, but how? Derive it. Well, let's go step by step.
Pag. Paktra.
Pach plus tr.
It will be
Cha becomes
Will be
the choho
Cha becomes ka.
yeah.
becomes
So
the-
pak and then plus tr. Pak tr.
Patra.
Yeah. Pach
Tr.
plus tum.
plus tum.
Pak.
Pattum.
Very good, very good. So you got that idea. Then we have, a whole series on the replacement of dental consonants. Okay, dental consonants, and so this is the very famous sutra, and then we will see this. Okay, so it's a rule which which is little very precise, but not very hard to follow. When sakara or any consonant of the dental class. What are consonants of the dental class? The, dha, and na.
Na.
Okay? The, dha, na. And when they come into contact with the palatal sh or any of the consonants of the palatal class, which is cha, cha, ja, jha, nya, then the corresponding letter of the palatal class is the substitute. So what happens here? Let me just draw this or try to draw this so that it will become a little clear, hopefully. So if we have the palatal class or we have sakara followed by, this is on the other hand of the plus, left hand side of the plus sign, followed by what? Followed by the followed by
Dental
the
class.
yeah, this is dental class. Yeah,
Dental.
that's what I was thinking. Something is yeah. So when the dental class comes into contact when the dental class comes into contact with the palatal class, dental class or sa, we have to say, or sakara, which is like a friendly neighbor of the dental class, because without the teeth we cannot say sa, and so is followed by any of the chavarga, or we have so any of the things of the palatal class, or we have talavya shakara. Okay, then what happens? The poor dental class is gone. The chavarga and the shakara win. So this is completely gone. So this doesn't even exist here, and so the dental class, the tatha dadhana, is replaced with the corresponding cha cha ja jhanya, and then the sakara is replaced by shakara. Got it? Now let us look at some examples. Okay. So then let me not rub. Let's just not. Maybe I should erase it, because otherwise it will interfere in visibility. Okay, so these are the scenarios we can have. Okay, the scenarios is sakara plus shakara. Sakara at the end of the word plus shakara at the beginning of the other word, will be what? Will become shakara. Vrikshas plus shete. What happens to the sa here?
Comes sh.
It becomes
Shete.
yeah.
Shete.
Vrikshashete. So the sakara is gone. A big cross on sakara. It is replaced by this sh. So sa plus sh is equal to sh. These are because this is a very involved rule, and it has many possibilities, and we are going to look at each possibility we are going to study. So first one is, let us just take care of the sibilants. So the sa is followed by sh or comes into contact with sh. So we have the sakara just taking a hit. So we have vrikshashete. Plakshas plus shete. Plakshashete. Got it? Then the next scenario is sakara plus, which is followed by ja jha ja jha. And then that also causes the sakara to change into sh. Sakara always changes into sh, okay, which is the idea. So we have vrikshas plus chinoti. What happens?
Chinoti.
Chinoti.
Vrikshas chinoti. What happened there?
Sakara became shakara.
Sakara became shakara.
Shakara.
Vrikshas chadayati.
Shashad.
Yeah, again the sakara has disappeared. Sakara has disappeared. Okay. So now the next scenario is when the dental consonants plus followed by shakara. Then what happens? The dental consonants change to the corresponding palatal consonants, like the is equal to ch, tha is equal to cha, etc., etc. Got it? So like, let us look at the example. Agnichit shete.
Agnichit shete.
Chete.
Takara changes to chakara.
What changes?
Takara changes to the chakara.
Chakara changes to chakara. Agnichit shete. Okay. And then of course there is another optional sutra here, and that option is agnichit chete is perfectly fine. We can either have this or we can have agnichit chete, or same thing. That, let's look at the other one. Tat shivaha. So this is takara followed by shakara, correct? Are you able to, stay with me? Everybody is looking very morose. Okay. So, yeah. So, tat plus shivaha. What happens?
Tachishva.
Tat
Tachishva.
or tat shivaha. It becomes, yeah. There is another sutra, which is the exception. When, and that is the, exception here, yeah. So when the shakara is preceded by a word ending in the first 4 letters of the class and followed by any vowel, semi-vowel or nasal or hakara, then the sh is optionally changed into ch. It is an optional sutra. Okay. Example, tat plus shivaha. By the preceding rule we had what? Tat shivaha. Or the chakara is changed, the shakara is changed into cha. So shash choti, that's the name of the rule. So let us, practice some here. Vak plus shete.
Vakshete.
Vak shete. By the by this rule, what by the first rule, what will
First
happen?
rule.
First rule,
Vakshete.
does the first rule apply? First of all, let us look at that.
No, it is already.
Any consonant plus
Sha.
No, not this rule. This rule,
Hard
does it apply? The dental consonants and sh, does it apply here in Vak shete?
No. No.
No.
No, it doesn't apply. Why? Because the kakara is not a dental consonant. Simple. All right? Yeah. So then we straight away go to this sutra, this rule which says, what does it say?
Vakshete.
Vakshete. Vaksha becomes
Cha.
Vakshete.
Vakshete.
Vak plus shete. What will happen?
Vakshete.
Chete.
Vakshete.
So it will just remain like that. Vak shete. That's one possibility. And what else can happen?
The sha can become
Che.
che. Vakshete.
The second
Vakshete.
chakara.
Second chakara.
Vak chete.
Chete.
Vak chete. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then next one, lit plus shete.
It can be lit shete or
Lichete.
lit chete.
Lit chete. Okay, and this third one, yad shokam. Is this does this rule apply? Dental consonant rule?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So what will happen to that? So the dental consonant plus sh, dental consonants change to the corresponding palatal consonants. So yad shokam becomes what?
Yash.
Yeah.
Yes.
Palatal. Yaj.
Yaj shokam.
Yaj.
Yaj shokam, or by this,
Optional.
Optional, it will be
Optional rule it become yajjo. Yajchokam.
yaj shokam.
chokam.
Yaj shokam.
Yajcho.
Okay, got it?
And it will be second chakara and then the
Yaj. Ja.
No, then you see, if it is yad shokam, then we have to go back to this rule, okay?
first one.
Second rule, I think we have to go back to,
Right.
which is any consonant followed by the hard consonant. No, that doesn't, because shakara is not a hard consonant, so it doesn't apply here. So,
First rule.
so it will be, where are we now? We are over here, yeah. Still not here. Here we are. So that doesn't apply because it's not followed by a hard consonant. Yad shokam turns into what? Yaj shokam or yaj chokam.
Chok.
This sh changes into cha.
One small doubt.
Yeah.
They are all sibilants, and are they not hard consonants?
You trailed off, or I could not hear you there. Tell me that again.
Are they not hard consonants?
No, I don't think they are considered hard consonants. Sibilants are not hard consonants.
They are hard consonants.
And
They are hard consonants?
down here that,
Yeah.
and semi-vowels, there are soft consonants. That's what
Yeah.
I'm looking for. So I had this doubt.
No, hard consonants are the first two we find hard consonants.
Good. Could someone please clarify? Is it
In,
sibilant
in Antwain of page 1,
Yeah.
the last part says hard.
I lost you there. Say that again.
It says the semi-vowels are soft and the sibilants are hard.
Sibilants are considered hard consonants. Yeah, that's why first rule applies here. That's why it becomes yach.
sibilants are considered hard?
So if sibilants are considered hard, then the first we started the her, right? Like that exception rule, then we won't make, that will fail, no? The first one we started in the class. Yeah, this one.
Which one?
Visarga is sibilant.
The Vanik Hasti.
The Vanik
Her,
Hasti.
her is not a sibilant. Her is
Her is not a
Her
sibilant.
is a semi-vowel.
Semi-vowel.
Oh, okay.
Visarga is
semi-vowel. It is, yeah. Ya were semi-vowels. So,
And her is
kind of belongs, in many places. So her is not strictly. I don't consider her a semi-vowel. Okay, yeah. So now, I don't know. We'll check with Vidyaji tomorrow. So if that is the case, if they are considered hard consonants for the sake of the sandhi, then it might be that it will become yat shokam and then yaj chokam. First it will become yaj shokam, then it will become yach shokam and then yach chokam. Same thing with here. Ud plus shoshanam. Try that. Step by step.
Uj, Shoshanam.
becomes ja. Uchoshanam or uchoshanam.
Uj,
Is that?
Uj.
The becomes ja.
Uchoshanam. Uchoshanam.
Uchoshanam.
Uchoshanam. Okay. And then rest we can do for homework. Then the scenario number 4 is we have, what do we have? Dental consonants plus palatal consonants. So now we have come out of the shakara and dental consonants or whatever sakara. So dental consonants plus palatal consonants, and what is the outcome? The dental consonants change into their palatal counterparts. So masut chinoti. So what happens here?
Varga changes to
Takara will
the.
change to chakara.
Takara will change into chakara. So masut chinoti.
Chuchinoti.
Tad jahati.
Jahati.
Tajahati.
Tajjahati. Agnichit jayati. Agnichit jayati.
Jayati.
Yeah. So then the opposite is also true. Palatal consonants followed by dental consonants, same outcome. The dental consonants change to the corresponding palatal consonants that precede them. Yaj plus na, what happens?
Yad.
Yaj. Palatal consonant, dental consonant.
Ja.
Yaj plus nya. And yaj plus nya becomes yajna.
Yajna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yaj plus, so this is, and then yaj plus na. Yaj plus nya. And yajna.
Yaj.
Yajna. So you see, that is why the rule says, let's go back to the rule. When sakara or any dental consonant comes into contact with palatal shakara or comes into contact, see, this is the key here, comes into contact, meaning it could be either way. Comes into contact, it doesn't say followed by or anything. You see, comes into contact means it could be just like what we saw here. It could be either dental consonants plus sh, or then shakara plus say palatal consonants, or again here dental consonants and palatal consonants, or palatal consonants plus dental consonants. The whole idea is that the dental consonants will take a hit and it will be changed into the palatal consonants or the shakara. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Then these all we can do. We can do a couple of these. Ramas Shete.
Ramashete.
Sa becomes she, Ramashete.
Sha becomes Sa becomes Sha. Yeah.
Shete.
Then
Ramashete.
Sat plus Chit.
Ta becomes
Cha.
Yeah.
Ta becomes
Sachit.
Sachit. Yeah. Like that. Then we have is very exactly the same rule, but with regard to the dental consonants coming into contact with cerebral consonants. What are cerebral consonants?
Ta,
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 Na.
No.
Okay. So this is the dental consonants coming into contact with cerebral consonants, and then what happens? So this is exactly what we saw will happen. The dental consonants will take a hit. So when the sakara or any dental consonants tha, tha, dha, na come into contact with, meaning it could be before the plus sign or after the plus sign, doesn't matter, come into contact with any consonant of the cerebral class, ta, tha, da, dha, na, or murdhanya sha, cerebral sha, then the corresponding letter of the cerebral class is the substitute, and then the sakara is substituted by sha regardless of whether the sa or the dental consonants precede or succeed the sha or the cerebral consonants. Either way, it is the substitute is the cerebral consonants. Here again we have 4 scenarios. So we have dental plus cerebral, and then what happens? The dental changes into the corresponding cerebral. Like for example, tad damaru.
Taddamaru.
Taddamaru. Taddamaru. Etat plus dhakka.
Etadhakka.
Yeah. Why? Because this one changes into the third one and it's already starting with the fourth one. So etad dhakka. Okay. Then cerebrals and dental. So let's put the cerebral first and the dental. The dental again changes into the corresponding cerebral. This is the famous example. Shan plus nama.
Shanna.
Nama. And then scenario number 3, cerebral sibilant plus dental sha, dental is equal to sha plus the dental changing into the corresponding cerebral. Like for example, cerebral sibilant, which is ish. Ish plus ta is equal to what happens? What changes?
Ta
What
becomes
changes?
ta.
Ta changes to ta. Ishta. Akrish plus ta.
Akrishta.
Akrishta. And let us do a couple of these. Let's do the first one and the last one.
Tushta.
Pushta.
Push plus.
Ta.
Then what happens?
Tushta.
Tushta.
Pushta.
Yeah. It becomes immediately tushta. Okay. And then try the last one. Chakrin. Bhavase. What happens? What happens over there?
Chakrinya. Chakruna. Chakruna.
Nakara will change.
Nakara will change to what?
Na.
Which na?
Na. The cerebral.
Cerebral.
Da, dha, da, dha, Na.
Na.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sri
then.
Pralna. Okay. So
Kring.
Krin Dhaukase.
Kring.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we should stop here because everybody looks tired. All right.
Okay, I have one question.
Yes.
Can you go below where go
Where
one
we
more
were.
page below?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there, no, just right about that. Yeah, that etat plus dakha, right? So
Yes.
that ta will become ta. So etat dakha, right? So what happened there? How did it become etat dakha?
एतत् प्लस ढक्का एतत् प्लस ढक्का. So what is your point? I didn't understand.
So by the rule that last ta will become ta first, right? Like cerebral.
Yeah,
So
etat, yeah, then we have to go back to that other one because then
First,
the softening one, yeah. Etat,
first rule that
yeah,
softens.
yeah. So then etat, the first rule, then that will become soft. So it will go back to the third of the class, which then it will become etad plus dhakka. So then it will become etad dhakka. Okay? Yeah.
Swaminiji.
Before we go, let me just quickly look up one more thing here in this book to find out about the shakara changes. Not in these rules, but in the one that we were not sure of. Let me just see that one minute. Let me find it. So this is my reference book to see if it will help us any further to look at this. We didn't need that. Kharija, we already saw that. Avasane, Varna, and Jhayaha Haha Anyatarasyam. So we saw that. Yeah, this one. This is again an optional sutra. So then, when sha is preceded by jhai and followed by at. Yeah. Shah, chha, ati. Tat, tat. Yeah, so here it is, So, for example, if we say, let us go back to this one about which we were not, there were some questions about this one, right? Let us spend the rest of the time trying to see if we can clarify this further. So now what was the example?
Yeah.
Let's say
Yad
tat plus shastram. That teaching, tat shastram. So if we say this, so let's look at what all will happen, okay? Tat shastram will become first, by that softening rule, it will become what?
Ach.
Tad.
Tad.
Yeah.
Tad.
Yeah, it will become first tad plus shastram. Because there is one more rule we haven't studied. That is the problem here. Now I am understanding. Yeah, we haven't studied Jhalam Jashonte. That we will do tomorrow perhaps. That is why this problem is there. Okay? Yeah. That is why there were some missing links. Now I am understanding. So then it becomes Tad Shastram. Then by this dental palatal thing, what happens then? It becomes Taj Shastram, correct?
Yes.
The dental.
Yeah. So the becomes ja. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then it becomes Taj Shastram. Yeah, one that is the missing link. Taj plus it's not about hard and soft. It is that one thing is missing. So Taj Shastram.
Then cerebral and dental.
Wait, I lost the pen here. Okay. Tad Shastram. Okay. Then, by this rule that we haven't studied, it it becomes Tach Shastram, and we'll study that later. I think right now is not a good time to get into that. Okay. Okay, so it becomes Tach Shastram. Okay.
But it becomes hard again, Swaminiji.
What?
It becomes hard again.
It becomes hard again, but in the palatal way, because not in the dental way. Okay, so by that Jhalam Jashon Jhalam Jashon yeah, so that Jhalam Jashashi. No, this is by that Kharicha which we have studied. It becomes Tat Shastram, and then it become optionally it becomes either Tat Shastram or Tat Shastram.
Sha becomes cha, right?
Yeah, the Sha becomes Sha. So and this Cha will be there. And you see, so that's how it will become Tat Shastram. And so that's how it is. It's not, so it is, this is what it is. So then let us do one more thing.
Swaminiji, I have a question.
Yes.
If the final word is Tach Shastram, so
no, it's an optional. It's optional. There is either Tat Shastram or Tat Shastram.
Okay, so when they give us this final version of the word, so are we supposed to delineate it to the beginning to say this would have been the original word then?
Okay, let us look at here. There are some examples here. Like for example, let us derive this one. Shashvat Chantim. Okay. So then what might be the situation here?
Shashvat
Shantim.
Yeah. So you derived it very easily.
What did I do? Yes, I did.
You derived it extremely easily. Okay. So this would be considered for the purposes of this as a hard consonant, because that first one is that rule applies where that Taj Shastram goes back to Tat Shastram, and then optionally we can have Tat Shastram, and same thing here, Ud Shoshanam then again becomes Uj Shoshanam. We have Uj Shoshanam, then we have Uj Shoshanam, we have Cha, and then we have either Uj Shoshanam or Uj Shoshanam. Two kinds of things, okay? Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes, Swaminiji, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did we decide the sibilants were hard consonants?
Yes. Yes. For the purpose of this, yes.
Well then, okay, then in this first example, we would not change Vak to Vag, right?
Where? Which example?
Number one.
Yeah.
Because the sibilant
you would not change it to Vag.
Vag, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but after this, Vak plus Shet, it would be Vak Shet, or would it still be Vak Chete? Okay.
Vak Shete. Let's see what will become. So, if it is followed by any consonant except nasals and sibilants, then only except nasals, semivowels. But it doesn't say anything about sibilants. So let's go back to that rule. That's the best way, so that we are absolutely clear. Vak plus Shete, this first one here. Vak plus shete. What happens here?
Jalam Jashonte.
Jalam Jashonte. Any consonant except for nasal and semi-vowels on the left hand side, followed by any vowel or soft consonant. But if we are saying that the shakara is a hard consonant, then it should not change to the third of its class. Okay.
Only for soft consonant and any vowel that follows the hard consonant.
Where did it go? No, this is another. This is that other one here. So then the kakara will become what?
No, the kakara will not change.
Kakara will not change. Vak chete. Either vak chete or vak chete.
Okay, thank you.
Right?
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Swaminiji.
Swaminiji, yesterday's homework, there was one part which was where it was followed by the ta or the ti. So we have covered the rule.
No, we haven't covered that rule. We will cover that rule. Jhalam jashi. That rule has not been covered, and we'll do that. Okay? Yeah.
Amazing.
So you did, Somniji, the ta and the ti earlier. We saw one ta and ti where you changed it down.
What?
We saw words which were followed by the ta and the ti. Also.
Yeah, that one. No, much plus the mukta. This one.
Yeah. It's not the same rule.
No, because that is the choho kuhu. That is, that is the chavarga turning into kavarga. Yeah.
Swaminiji, so it is possible that one word can have multiple of these rules in that same word, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That is why we are scrolling back and forth to point to that and then come back here and go back there. That is why we are doing that. Because the conditions, because this is why it's slightly different from the vowel sandhi here, because this is much more involved.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Tomorrow, what I will, ask Vidyaji to do is to take us to the consonant ending some of the tables. So we can start doing that. Then these sandhis will become kind of clear because there are a lot of internal sandhis like marut plus bhyam, marud bhyam.
Marut bhyam.
Yeah, marut plus bhyam. Then immediately we know marud bhyam.
Marut plus bhyam.
Yeah.
Yes, bhyam. That came in that exercise.
So like that, it will be, marut plus bhihi, marud bhihi. Like that, we will start learning the words, and then it will be, this also will become clear. I don't think there are that many more left. So we have, we finished this one. Then this is the rule. This is the rule we haven't done. In place of jhal letters, jash letters are substituted when jash follows, when jhash follows. So that this we have to study. And then what other, then Torli, very easy. And then Anuswara rules, extremely easy, very, very easy. So we can do that. It's up to you really. Would you like to finish this tomorrow? Or would you like to take a break and go do the, what's its name, the table of the consonant ending nouns? Shall we do that and then come back to this next week?
Yes, I think we should come back to this next week.
Okay.
I think the absorption of what we learned today is minimal.
Okay, so I think the relief is palpable on everybody's face, and so that's exactly what we'll do. So tomorrow we'll take a little break from this and then we'll come back, okay?
A review would also be good in order to
review we can do.
retain.
I'll request Vidyaji to do the review of all that we have studied till now, plus do the consonant ending nouns.
Dhanyavada,
so we can go over a few of that, okay? Yeah.
Dhanyavada, Swamiji.
Thank you. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् टेक् केर्